The Nobel Peace Prize ceremony took place in Oslo, Norway this morning without this year's prize winner. Venezuelan opposition leader Corina Machado was recognized for keeping, quote, the flame of democracy burning amidst a growing darkness and ever-expanding authoritarianism in Venezuela. While Machado did not attend the ceremony, here's what she said over the phone.
I'm very sad and very sorry to tell you that I won't be able to arrive in time for the ceremony. But I will be in Oslo and on my way to Oslo.
So Machado has been in hiding since August when the Maduro regime claimed without evidence that he had won an election. Venezuela's attorney general said Machado would be considered a fugitive if she left the country. But the Nobel Peace Prize organizers confirmed that she is safe in Norway. Machado's daughter accepted the award on her behalf. The ceremony organizers say Machado did everything in her power to come to the ceremony, adding that it was a journey in a situation of extreme danger. So let's bring in CBS News national correspondent Lilia Luciano. Lilia, you spoke to Machado on the phone the day that she was announced the winner of the Nobel Prize. What are your takeaways from her daughter's speech? And it's good news that she's safe in Norway, but does that mean that Venezuela now considers her a fugitive from the law?
Well, the Venezuelan regime, Vlad, has had different ways of approaching the question of Maria Corina Machado. The attorney general, as you mentioned, said that she would be considered a fugitive. They have said other times that, oh, she's free to do whatever she wants. We know where she is, so she's not really in hiding. They try to minimize her significance. As you said, I interviewed her exclusively the day she was announced. We were there with her when she went to vote in this election where she was banned from running. The images we're seeing are her mother, Corina Machado, her daughter, Ana Corina Sosa, who gave a speech in her name. It was a speech that Maria Corina had prepared to give, but we are still unsure exactly what the TikTok is. I've been reporting all morning, working on getting more information about whether it was the U.S. that participated in her exit from Venezuela, who secured it, whether it was by land or air. But I want us to take a listen to a little bit of what her daughter, Ana Corina, said during the speech that Maria Corina wrote.
This prize carries profound meaning. It reminds the world that democracy is essential to peace. And more than anything, what we Venezuelans can offer the world is the lesson forged through this long and difficult journey, that to have democracy, we must be willing to fight for freedom.
And look, who were planning to travel with Maria Corina, but were sitting in the audience, were the presidents of Paraguay, of Panama, of Ecuador, of Argentina, many members of the assembly, people who have had to leave Venezuela. You also had the chair of the Nobel Committee, Jorgen Walter Frieden, talk about Maduro and saying directly to Maduro, Mr. Maduro, accept the election results and step down. To lay the foundation for a peaceful transition to democracy. Keep in mind that what they're saying is the election was won by the candidate who had to step in because she was banned by the regime from running.
Help people understand that, because they are probably watching this. They're also watching the president's military actions against Venezuela. What happened in that election?
And we were there. We were the only U.S. broadcast network on the ground covering the election. We saw people going to vote. There was a lot of silence during the count. The opposition came out and showed the voter tallies. They worked very hard, and that was part of the speech that Ana Corina gave, talking about all the work that went into documenting, including international observers who I saw leave Venezuela before they issued their report. And the conclusion was that Edmundo González Urrutia, this is us talking to Maria Corina the day after the election, and she said that this was stolen, that what Maduro was claiming as victory was not real, was not true. They put out the evidence, these voting tallies that showed that Edmundo had won by 67% of the vote. To this day, we have asked the regime, we've asked the Maduro administration, we've asked for any other evidence. They haven't. And I do remember clearly when these international observers from the Carter Center were leaving our hotel. And then once they were safely out of that country, they issued their report saying that effectively that they found that there had been irregularities, that the election was not won by Maduro.
And
of course, in the context of now what's happening with Venezuela, look, every expert I've talked to over the last several weeks and months, Vlad agrees that, yes, drugs are a problem, that, yes, there's plenty of evidence, and Maduro has been convicted by the United States of being involved in trafficking, but that this is about regime change, that this is about restoring, quote unquote, democracy in Venezuela as the U.S. sees it, and that means giving the opposition power.
Lilia Luciano breaking it down. She's been on the ground reporting on the story from the jump. Good to always have you here in studio. You're not in the field for once. It's nice.